This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Tuesday, January 14th, 2024. I'm Marek Mazurek. Genpack LLC, a food service packaging manufacturer headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina, is planning to grow its operations in southern Indiana. The company is investing nearly $7 million in its new polystyrene operations at its Scottsburg facility, which will create 45 jobs by 2028, according to One Southern Indiana. The investment will help Genpack's existing manufacturing operations on South Elm Street in Scottsburg. Genpack makes a variety of food service packaging products, including hinged containers, paperboard containers, and serving trays for the restaurant, grocery, and delivery markets. One Southern Indiana says the new jobs will add to Genpack's 138 existing employees. The IEDC is offering Genpack up to $425,000 in conditional tax credits for the move. Mount Vernon High School students interested in welding can now receive training at the John Haynes School of Welding Technology thanks to a partnership with BWX Technologies in Posey County. Each year, up to 60 students can gain skills at various levels to help them get a job after high school, potentially working for BWXT or other companies. BWXT provides components and services to the United States government and commercial customers. In addition to Indiana, the company has locations in Ohio, Virginia, Tennessee, Canada, and the UK. About 500 employees work at the Mount Vernon facility.
There is a huge demand across industry in the U.S. For welding skill sets, especially in the maritime and Navy industrial base. So if you want a job in welding, if you complete these courses, you'll be primed for that.
That's Nathan Foote, general manager at BWXT in Mount Vernon. He said BWXT initially just planned to provide the school with part-time instruction, but received $500,000 from the U.S. Navy and Blue Forge Alliance to expand the program. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
IAC Inc., the New York City-based media conglomerate that acquired Indianapolis-based Angie's List in 2017, says it is spinning off its entire ownership stake of Angie's List to IAC shareholders. The transaction would give IAC shareholders direct ownership of the company that now does business as Angie Inc. and would result in Angie becoming a fully independent company. Pending final approval from its board of directors, IAC said it expects the transaction to close in the first half of the year, but no earlier than March 31st. The exact number or ratio of Angie shares that IAC shareholders will receive has yet to be determined. The news was not unexpected. In a letter to shareholders in November, IAC CEO Joey Levin said IAC was exploring whether to spin off its 85% ownership in Angie to its shareholders. United States Attorney for the Southern District of Indiana, Zachary Myers, announced today he has tendered his resignation and will step down effective Friday. Myers was confirmed by President Joe Biden as U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Indiana in 2021. Before assuming office as U.S. Attorney, Myers spent more than a decade as a career federal prosecutor in Southern Indiana and Maryland. The U.S. Attorney's Office said in a news release that Myers focused on bringing cases against the most serious offenders, working closely with all levels of law enforcement, and increasing community outreach. The Office of Community and Rural Affairs this week announced a new round of funding for an ongoing program bringing better internet access to Hoosiers. Okra is awarding a little over $370,000 to 93 addresses over 19 counties as part of the 12th round of funding in the Indiana Connectivity Program. The program's goal is to expand access to broadband for rural Indiana residents by helping subsidize internet providers to extend service lines in areas they otherwise might not. With the new round of funding, the Indiana Connectivity Program has awarded close to $5 million since July. Marketing executive Trevor Yeager is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC. A weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Mark Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.